Hello all and welcome to The Big Story, where we discuss the hottest topics of the day right here in the heart of the newsroom. I'm Haryanto, coming to you live from the Straits Times. Now, we are streaming on Facebook and on YouTube, so be sure to hit the like, comment and share button. While you're at it, also make sure that you hit the bell button so that you'll be alerted to our videos. Now, I'll have my newsroom colleagues joining me to talk about the stories that got you talking today. Now, Google has stopped providing software and hardware services to Chinese smartphone maker Huawei to comply with the US government order. Future versions of Huawei smartphones that run on Android will lose access to popular services including the Google Play Store, Gmail and YouTube apps. To tell us more about this ban, I have tech editor Irene Tham with me. Hello Irene.
Hello.
Irene, first of all, I think users, they want to know, how does this ban affect Huawei and Honor users?
Okay. In short, I think only for future handsets actually. But even so, okay. Why don't we just recap a little bit what the recent move means for users and what what Google was actually doing. So for future handsets, Huawei handsets and Honor handsets, they will not come preloaded with Google apps like Play Store. And a lot of their proprietary apps like Gmail and YouTube, Google Maps, and so on. These are proprietary to Google, so they will not come preloaded.
Right.
And also, Google will not be pushing the updates to its software and security patches to its software promptly to Huawei. So, but it will still eventually go to Huawei because you must understand that Google operating system is based on an open source platform, and any user of this open source platform will have access to any updates. So eventually Huawei will still get it, but it may not be. They may not get like preferred access to some of these updates, just like the other handset makers, like the Google endorsed handset makers like Samsung and so on, companies which are not on the blacklist. So, but even so, this does not mean that your phones will lack security because pushes to end users are done by your device makers. So, for example, even if Google supplies the software to Samsung, they will still need to internalize it before they push it out to end users. And usually this takes a while. There's usually a delay. And so this delay may not be material to Huawei users. Huawei will still eventually get it from when Google publishes it to the rest of the world. Huawei still needs to internalize it before it pushes it out to its end users. And on the point about the apps not being preloaded on Huawei handsets, well, if you find a way to sideload Google Play Store, you have access to everything.
As well, right?
Yeah, because the agreement is between the user and Google, and it's not something that Huawei is not part of it.
And you know, Irene, beyond just it affecting, of course, on consumers, and this ban also points to an even bigger issue at hand. And you're going to be writing a commentary with regard to the division between US and China, which is going to be published tomorrow. More on that.
It signals two tech worlds. Which we may not be unfamiliar with because I mean, China, behind the Great Firewall, has its own universe, its own e-services universe. For example, it has an alternative to our favorite apps like Google, Facebook, and so on. They have their Baidu, Weibo, Youku, and Renren. Their own version of our social networks. In the software and e-services space, not much different from what it is right now. But I guess the impact will be moving forward in the hardware world when you will have two separate developments. Everything will have to be duplicated for two different platforms, one for the US, one for China, and possibly for the rest of the world. And we're not sure if the US will pressure its allies to adopt its stance and its measures against China. So then there will be more, it will be split right in the middle.
Right. And I mean, on that note, right, what about Singapore then? You know, will we be affected by it?
I think we sort of belong to the rest of the world, because we are heavy on a lot of US, American technologies, we might be pressured to to take sides.
Yeah.
Either Chinese technologies or the US technologies, but we're not sure what will happen next. Because the story is still waiting to unfold.
Correct. Certainly, like what Irene mentioned, that the story is still developing, and of course, do check out Irene's commentary piece, which is coming out tomorrow as well on straitstimes.com. Again, for more updates on the Huawei ban and of course everything that is happening with regard to the tech world between these two giants, right? US and China. Do head over to our website at www.straitstimes.com. Once again, thank you, Irene, for being here to share more light on this whole issue at hand. Thank you, Irene.